Welcome to Rambam in Depth. Today we'll be discussing the Rambam Hilchos Sukkah, Perek Revi, Halacha Beis. Sukkah she'en le shalosh defanis. A sukkah that doesn't have three walls is an invalid sukkah. However, hayer lo shtei defanis gemurei zu b'tzad zu k'min gam, eis defen sheyesh berachbe yeser al tefach, umamida bepachas mishloish samach l'echad mishtei hadefanis v'dayai. In other words, if you only have two walls, complete walls, and you can make a third wall out of a post that's just a tefach wide, and you put it less than 3 handbreadths to one of the two walls, and that's sufficient. Now, the Gemara in Sukkah, Daf Zayin, says that a daifen, a wall that's acceptable for Sukkah, like this 1 tefach worth of a wall, is good for Shabbos as well. That Shabbos, during the Yontif of Sukkot, that would be considered a third wall. Those are the words of Rabbi. V'chein le'inyan Shabbos, migoy dehava daifon le'inyan Sukkah, hava daifon le'inyan Shabbos. So there's a question that's asked. The Sefer Maharsha from Chanech Egish of Vilna, who was martyred during the Holocaust, Shem Yikim Damav. So in his Sefer Siman Tez Zayin, he speaks of how this halacha of 1 tefach, how it works. There are two ways of looking at it. One way of looking at it is that the Torah, which is halacha l'Moshe MiSinai, that you only need 1 tefach, was passed down to Moshe Rabbeinu on Har Sinai. It's not mentioned explicitly in the Torah, but it has the same status as if it was written in the Torah. And the halacha l'Moshe MiSinai is that 1 tefach is enough for the third wall. That means that Sukkah does not require a complete wall. 1 tefach is enough. That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is that, no, you need 3 walls, but that 1 tefach is considered as if it's a completely enclosed third wall. So the Maharsha brings a raya from this halacha in the Gemara that it's considered as if the whole wall is there. Why? He says because we know that in a sukkah, if there's more open space than closed space, it's still kosher. And Shabbos, that would not be considered a mechitza. So what's the difference between Shabbos and Sukkah? In Sukkah, the shir hadefanais, the size of the walls, it's not in order to make the Sukkah an enclosed area with mechitzas, with partitions, because even if there's more open space than closed space, it's considered sufficient. That means that you don't need, for a Sukkah, a complete mechitza. So the fact that 2 walls and a tefach are enough, that's because you don't need more than a tefach for the third wall. That's what the halacha l'Moshe MiSinai is. On the other hand, if we say that the tefach, the halacha l'Moshe MiSinai, is considered as if it's a complete wall, then that would explain why it would be good for Shabbos. Because if you say that the halacha l'Moshe MiSinai is you don't need a complete wall, we see that Shabbos is different. But because it is good and acceptable for Shabbos, that proves that the tefach is considered as if the wall was complete. And the Maharsha says that this seems to hinge on what is the halacha l'Moshe MiSinai. Is the halacha l'Moshe MiSinai that min Torah you would need 3 walls? The halacha l'Moshe MiSinai comes to subtract, that you don't need a complete wall. Or the other opinion says that no, really you need 2 walls is enough. The halacha Moshe MiSinai adds a tefach. And that's what these two opinions hinge on. If you say that you really need 3, but 1 tefach is enough, b'tzad the halacha Moshe MiSinai, that means that be'etzim you need a whole wall, a third wall. But the halacha Moshe MiSinai says that this tefach is as if there was a whole wall. On the other hand, if you say that the halacha Moshe MiSinai originally was to add on, that means that min Torah 2 would have been enough. Then halacha Moshe MiSinai is telling you that you don't need a third wall completely, a complete wall. You need 1 tefach is enough. But for the fact that the halacha is that if it's a mechitza legabe sukkah, it's considered a mechitza legabe Shabbos, that proves that the tefach is considered as if it's a complete wall. This is one of the rayas the Rabbi brings in Teres Menachem, Chelik Zayin, and that the tefach is considered as if it's a whole wall.